By now you should be finished with your background for your snowy sunset. If you weren't able to finish your painting, just grab an oil pastel and color in the white areas. So we're going to be doing a little bit of layering with the paint on top of what we already have on our paper. So decide where you want your sun to be. So do you want this to be the top or do you want this to be the top? So we're going to have the snow go approximately halfway up our paper, and it is okay if it overlaps the sun. So just figure out what you think would look best for yours, and then we'll start adding some snow. You will be provided little cups of paint and some sponges, and the sponges, when you're done, they just go right back in the tray. All you do is dunk your sponge in there just a little bit. If it's really, really goopy, then gently scrape it off a little bit so it's not dripping everywhere in places that you don't want. So we need it to go, the snow, about halfway up our paper. So if we were to imagine folding this in half, this would be about halfway. And I'm just going to take and create a line going across so I know how high I would like my snow to be, or where I'd like it to stop. Once you figured out where the top of your snow is going to be, then you're ready to just fill it in all the way. And it is okay if your line isn't perfectly straight. If you want to make it kind of hill up a little bit, that's all right. So when we add the snow down here, we want to make it look fluffy. We're giving a fluffy texture to our snow, so we are only stamping. And as you stamp, you notice that your sponge will soften because the paint will get it a little bit more wet. So we're stamping. There should not be any appearance of the sponge shape. So you're stamping so much that it's making that disappear, and it should be enough paint that you're covering up most of the blue paint that is there. I should not see you smearing the paint back and forth, because all that does is wake up the paint that's under there, and we'll end up with kind of a bluish green snow. So we need to be a little more gentle and just stamp up and down with our sponge all the way across and all the way to the bottom of your paper. When you've finished adding all of your snow all the way across, then make sure to put these back where you found them on their storage places so they're not getting knocked on the floor. Next, we will add trees using a piece of cardboard, and if yours already has paint on it, it's okay. It works just fine. So we're going to use this longer side for probably the trunk, and then we'll use the shorter sides to create our branches. And everything should point upward. So none of our branches are going to point down, and I'll explain as we go. So you want to tap this in here until you notice that the whole edge of your cardboard is shiny with paint. So it's nice and ready. And you're going to do more overlapping so your tree can be up or down lower or up higher. You decide. Gently stamp. So we just set it down on there and lift it straight up. And then we have the trunk of our tree. And now to do our branches, we're kind of making sort of a Y shape almost. So tap it in there till it's wet. And then have it line up with your trunk, and it's pointing up. And you can stagger them. So it's almost like a letter Y backwards and forwards repeating. And you probably have to dip a couple times to make sure you don't run out of paint. If you want to get fancier and do a branch kind of going off the edge, that's all right. Then when we go to add our next tree, you can have it start in a different location. So meaning it can be down lower than where this one is. I'm going to have it be lower here. And repeat that same process where we have all of our branches go up, and overlapping is okay. That's what we're going for. So it looks like the sun is either setting or rising. After you're done creating your trees, place your cardboard back in that white tray where you found it, and then put your artwork on the drying rack. Don't forget to get cardboard first so we don't accidentally drop it on our way to the rack.